Bono with us tonight.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing our 2007 Liberty Medal honorees.
You're doing his, and then I'll do hers at the same time. It's tricky. I don't want it to fall off.
Presenting the 2007 Liberty Medal recipients.
Won't take long. I'm the Fidel Castro of speechifying. We've got a few hours, don't we? Right. Okay, good. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. President. And thanks, Joe Torcell, and everyone here at the National Constitution Center. It's an inspiring place. In the words of Robert Zimmerman, Bob Dylan, ring those bells. Ring those bells. I want to thank my wife, Ali, and I also want to thank the members of U2 for not firing me when they hear that I'm in Philadelphia this evening. Because they're in the studio expecting me. And I know they won't fire me because it is Philadelphia. And we've played everywhere here. From 70 people to 70,000 people here. Important city for the U2ers, as well as these both Live 8 concerts, which really turned my life upside down. I've got 5 minutes to talk, and I could spend that doing the shout-outs, but I want to thank Ngozi, really, for what she said, for what she is, for what she does. And this is the kind of leader we all want to work for. This is the reason we in Data do what we do. We love you, Nim. I must tell you, it's a bit humbling for me to be here where it all got started, where America got started. Because along with a mayor, a governor, a former president, and so many others that served the cause of freedom, while I, it has to be said, have served the cause of my own ego. President Bush, you may remember that when you were in office in 1992, and U2 was touring America, I used to do this bit every night in the show, where I would bring a phone out, and I'd ring you up at the White House. You never took my call, sir. You had far too much sense. That's the truth. Now, your son, he did not have your sense. He not only took my call, he had me over to lunch. And then I wouldn't leave. I think he's been regretting it ever since. Because when I come over to the house, I'm not exactly what you call house trained. Even White House trained. I'm not exactly what you call a good guest either. I can be rude, and I ask for things before we even sit down for tea. Like billions of dollars to fight AIDS in Africa. Things like that. I'd like to think that I've always left the White House with more than I arrived. Not only budget commitments, cutlery, silverware, candelabras, 1 or 2 Bush family photos. Okay, 1 Gilbert Stewart. There's a portrait of George Washington was in the bathroom. Nobody could see it. I'll give it back. I have to say that people took risks in working with us. And I want to say that the current President Bush was not only gracious, He was passionate about doing more for the poorest of the poor, and smart enough to know that he wasn't just letting a rock star run amok with his staff. He knew that Data, the organization being honored tonight, was bursting with energy, filled to the brim with the best and the brightest people, policy people, campaigners. I salute you, your servant. There are now, as you heard earlier, and I can confirm it, 20 million African children going to school that wouldn't be otherwise. 20 million African children. Wow! That's worth shouting about. That's the America I love. And that's why I'm so honored to be here to receive this award. A punk rocker from the north side of Dublin. An organization that until very recently had its data in Haversacks and had its office in Kinko's round the corner. No, I want to thank the organization and people like our instigator and part-time flamethrower, Bobby Shriver, and Jamie Drummond, who's sitting there, who is something special. Not liberty for its own sake, but liberty for some larger end. Not just freedom from oppression, but freedom of expression and worship. Freedom from want and freedom from fear. Because when you are trapped by poverty, you are not free. When trade laws prevent you from selling the food you grow, you are not free. When you are dying of a mosquito bite for lack of a bed net, you are not free. When you are hungry in a world of plenty, you are not free. And when you are a monk in Burma this very week, barred from entering a temple because of your gospel of peace, it is an affront to the thug regime. Well, then none of us are truly free. My other country, America, I know you'll not stand for that. So look, I'm not going to stand here, a rock star who just stepped off a private plane, and tell you to put your lives on the line for people you've never met, or your fortunes. I haven't. But our sacred honor might just be at stake here. That and a whole lot else. So what then are we willing to pledge? How about our science, your technology, your creativity, your compassion? America has so many great answers to offer. We can't fix all the world's problems, but the ones we can, we must. Enough of my voice. Listen to the voice of young Africa. Good night. Thank you.